Hello friends, welcome back in Maths class 7 and today we are going to talk about properties of integers. So let's start with the properties of addition. So first number property, that is closure property. In that if we add two integers, then answer also will be an integer. For example, -7 plus 2 equals to -5, which is an integer. So our next property, that is commutative property. In commutative property, a plus b equals to b plus a, means ordering of the numbers doesn't matter in this. As for example, 2 plus 5 equals to 5 plus 2. So answer will be 7 in the both cases. 2 plus 5, 7. 5 plus 2, 7. So our next property, that is associative property. In that we need three integers, as a plus bracket b plus c bracket closed equals to a plus b in bracket plus c. As if we start solving left side of this by taking an example, -2 plus 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is in the brackets. So firstly we will add 5 plus 3. Then answer will be 8. 8 plus -2. So answer is 6. So let's see on the other hand, -2 plus 5, that is in bracket, plus 3. This means firstly you have to sort out bracket. So -2 plus 5 will be 3. 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. Hence both the sides are equal with number 6. So our next property, that is additive identity. In that a plus 0 is equals to a equals to 0 plus a. A means a is any integer here. If a number is added in 0 or 0 is added in a number, then answer will remain an integer and 0 is called additive identity. For example, you have taken an integer -3 and 0 is added in it. So answer is -3. Same as 0 plus -3. Answer will be -3. And our next property, that is additive inverse. Additive inverse, if you are having an integer a and its additive inverse will be -a. So a plus -a equals to 0 equals to, if additive inverse means -a plus an integer a. So answer will be 0. For example, you have taken number 6. What will be the additive inverse of 6? It will be -6. So 6 plus -6 equals to 0. Same as additive inverse plus number. So answer will be 0. So our next property, the property of 1, means to say if 1 is added in an integer, then answer will be successor of the integer. How it will be? Look at an example. Example, -5 plus 1. This is an integer and 1 is added in it. So you got answer, that is -4, which is successor of the number -5. So students, as we have done properties of integers of addition, similarly here properties of subtraction of integers. So first property is same as name, closure property. In that if we subtract two integers, then answer will be also an integer. Same as second property, that is commutative property. In that a minus b not equals to b minus a, means ordering of the numbers matters a lot in this. For example, you have taken an integer 2 and another integer -3. Go for subtraction. 2 minus -3. So answer is minus minus become plus. 2 plus 3 equals to 5. On the other hand, b minus a. In b minus a, -3 minus 2. -3 minus 2 equals to -5. And both the sides are not equal. This means commutative property of subtraction does not hold good. So our next property, that is associative property. In that you have to take three integers a, b and c as a minus b bracket minus c not equal to a minus bracket b minus c. Means to say here a minus b is in bracket, here b minus c is in bracket. So let's start left side. 2 minus 3 minus 1. Firstly we will solve a bracket. 2 minus 3, it will be minus 1. Then again minus 1. Minus 1 and minus 1, it becomes minus 2. Similarly on the other hand, this is a minus b minus c, that is in bracket. B minus c is in bracket, means firstly we will solve b minus c. So 2 minus 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 will be 2. So 2 minus 2, that is 0, and here minus 2 not equals to 0. This means associative property of subtraction also doesn't hold good. So our next property, that is property of 0, means if we subtract 0 from an integer, then output we will get an integer. For example, an integer you have taken minus 5 and subtract 0 from it, so answer will be also minus 5, means integer. Similarly, next property, that is property of 1. In that if you subtract 1 from an integer, then you are going to get predecessor of that particular integer. For example, 7 you have taken as an integer and subtracted 1 from it. 7 minus 1 equals to 6. 6 is predecessor of 7. As students, we have discussed about the properties of addition and subtraction. Now we are going to discuss about the properties of multiplication. So first property, that is closure property. In that if you multiply two integers, then output will be also an integer. For example, you have taken two integers minus 14 and minus 13. Minus 14 multiply with minus 13, then answer will be positive 182, which is an integer. So our next property, that is commutative property. In the commutative property, if you multiply two numbers a and b, their product will be equals to b multiply a. So means ordering of the numbers does not matter in the commutative property. For example, you have multiplied 12 with minus 3 or 3 minus 3 with 12, then answer will be minus 36 in the both cases. So it holds good. So next property, that is associative property. Associative property, then we need three integers a, b and c as a multiply bracket b multiply c bracket closed, that will be equals to a multiply b, that is in bracket multiply c. So in that if you leave first number and multiply second and third number together, then multiply it with the first number, their output will be equals to, if you multiply first two numbers and then the third number, both the product will be equal. So with the help of example, you can see here, left side firstly we will solve for the three integers as 3 multiply bracket 4 multiply 5, and firstly we have to solve a bracket. So 4 multiply with 5, it will be 20, and 20 further multiply with 3, answer is 60. And on the other hand, if you multiply first two numbers first, 3 multiply with 4, 12, then the third number multiply 5, so answer will be 12 multiply 5 is equals to 60. So both the answers are same. Left side is equals to right hand side. So our next property, that is multiplicative identity. In multiplicative identity is 1, as if you multiply an integer with 1 or 1 with an integer, output will be an integer only. For example, minus 3 is multiplied with 1 equals to minus 3, and if 1 is multiplied with minus 3, answer will be minus 3. So our next property, that is multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative inverse will be reciprocal of an integer. For example, if you have taken an integer a and their reciprocal will be 1 by a, both product will be equals to 1, or you can say the multiplicative inverse multiply with an integer. So product will remain 1. For example, you have taken an integer 5 and their reciprocal will be 1 by 5. So product will be 1. And similarly, if you have taken a reciprocal, that will be 1 by 5 and multiply it with 5. So 5 cancel out with 5, you will get with the 1. So both sides answer is 1, and 1 is known as multiplicative inverse property. And in the next, that is property of 0. In property of 0, if you multiply an integer with 0 or 0 with an integer, then output will be 0. Example as minus 6 multiply with 0, answer will be 0. Or you can say 0 multiply with minus 6, answer will remain 0. This is known as property of 0. So our next property, that is distributive property of multiplication over addition. In that, multiplication and addition will be together, and 3 numbers are required for this property, as a multiply bracket b plus c equals to a multiply with b plus a multiply with c. So let's see now both the sides are equal or not by taking an example. As I have taken 3 numbers minus 11, 23 and minus 10. So start solving with the left side. Minus 11 multiply bracket 23 plus in bracket minus 10, then bracket is closed. So start solving firstly bracket plus 23 minus 10, answer will be 13. So minus 11 multiply 13, answer will be minus 143. On the other hand, minus 11 multiply 23 plus minus 11 multiply with the minus 10. So minus 11 multiply with 23, you will get minus 253 plus minus 11 multiply with minus 10. Minus minus become plus. 11 multiply 10, it will be 110. And out of 253, subtract 110 and you are left with the minus 143, and both the sides are equal. So this property is known as multiplicative property of integer over addition. Similarly students, with this property, distributive property of multiplication over subtraction, there is little difference of minus, as a multiply bracket b minus c equals to ab minus ac. This is the distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. So students, next we will discuss about the properties of division. So first property, that is closure property. In that, if you divide two integers, then answer will be may or may not be an integer. इंटीज़र हो भी सकता है इसका आंसर और इंटीज़र नहीं भी हो सकता. तो ये हम देखते हैं एक एग्जाम्पल के थ्रू. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू हैव टेकन 16 डिवाइड विद 4, देन आंसर इज 4. 4 is an integer. And on the other hand, if you have taken number 8, divide it with 3. What will be answer? 8 by 3, because it will not be cancel out. So 8 by 3 is not an integer. So this property does not hold good. Closure property of division does not hold good. So next property, that is commutative property. In commutative property, if you divide two numbers, a divide b not equals to b divide a, means in that ordering of the numbers matters a lot. How it will be? As you have taken 6, divide it with 3, answer is 2. On the other hand, if you have taken 3, divide it with 6, then answer is 1 by 2. And 2 not equals to 1 by 2. So this property also does not hold good of division. And the next property, that is associative property. in associative property we need three numbers, as A divide with B divide C, that is not equals to A divide B divide C. B divide C, that is in bracket. Means firstly we have to sort out the brackets, then output or answer will not be equal. So this property also does not hold good for division. So next property, that is property of 1. In property of 1, if an integer is divided with 1, answer will be an integer. For example, as you have taken -5, divide it with 1, then output will be -5, which is an integer. So next property, that is property of 0. Property of 0, if 0 is divided with any integer, output will be 0. For example, 0 divided with 20 equals to 20. And students, you have to keep in mind one note, that if a number is divisible by 0, so answer will be not defined.